Hello and welcome to 360 Sports on Trust TV. I am Emmanuel Fashimi. We've got you covered with a whole lot of stories making the round in the world of sports this lovely day, and we'll be looking at some stories making the rounds in Nigerian sports world, Nigerian sporting industry. And you know how we normally do it on our sports show. We talk about Nigerian stories, and if we don't talk about it, nobody will help us to sell our own debt. That is why we always talk about Nigerian stories on 360 Sports on Trust TV. All right, we'll be starting with this fantastic story from NCF, that is Nigeria Cricket Federation, and then we in Maiduguri, that's Borno State, where they have been able to complete and conclude the introducing cricket to children, school children and others at the IDP camps in Borno, Maiduguri State. In Borno State, Maiduguri precisely, where we have some of the internet displaced persons camps all over. And now cricket, that is the Nigeria Cricket Federation, actually took this sport to them, donated some items, some sporting cricket equipment and what have you, the bat as you can see on the screen, with a stick, the bat and what have you, at least teaching them the rudiments of cricket, how to play cricket. And like you know, just of recent, we won that award at the International Cricket Federation, at the International Cricket Commission, where we're giving the country the fastest growing country when it comes to the game of cricket. And I think these are some of programs in place that made us back that award from the ICC, that is the International Cricket Commission. And as you can see, you all know, it's not all about football. We're also trying to diversify, also trying to shift our attention to other sports, and cricket is one sport that is growing so fast in the country. Some time ago, they also launched a program, 1,000 cricketers from the street, and that program, they actually it was actually beneficiary and in the 6 geopolitical zones of the country. And there is a program also in Akwa Ibom State where about 50 cricketers were gotten from the street, and that program is still ongoing. By the end of this year, we should be having more than 1,000 cricketers from Akwa Ibom State. So I think it's a good thing that cricket sports is trying to become a household name sport in Nigeria, and that is the way to go. That is what we really want. We want to see that our other sports is also growing as fast as it can, just like we have football, basketball, and what have you. But for cricket, I think if we can actually channel all if we can channel our resources, sports stakeholders, come in, private investors investing. Who says we cannot be like South Africa, Zimbabwe, Rwanda when it comes to cricket? And to tell you the good news, our own Yellow Greens women's team at the African Games for the first time. They came back for the first time that game will be debuting in African Games. Nigeria won the bronze. Nigeria won the bronze medal in that particular cricket event. That's for the women's category. The Nigerian Yellow Green team, women's team, won the bronze medal for Nigeria at the African Games in Ghana. So for cricket, it's fast growing and it's becoming a sport that definitely, I believe, we can we can do well if definitely we channel our energy in the right direction and do what we need to do to get it right when it comes to the game of cricket. And kudos, congratulations to the Nigerian Cricket Federation for at least taking this sport to the IDP camp in Borno State. All right, I have Oshuolale Jamil joining me on the show this morning. Jamil, welcome to 360 Sports on Trust TV. It's wonderful having you again on the show. We'll start with this story all the way from Borno State, where the Nigerian Cricket Federation actually took the sport, that is the sport of cricket, the game of cricket, to teach those at the IDP camps in that state.
Good morning, thanks for having me on the show, Azure. Well, I think it's a good thing, to witness these kind of things, and I think the advantage that is going to be there is that the mindset behind this, moving the IDP camp to Borno, it's a great one. And I think, as you have said, it's going to be an advantage. There's going to be a platform whereby everybody in the society as well will be able to learn one or two things. And peradventure, in the nearest future, they can represent the nation. So it's a good development and it's a good idea from the government.
There is a good development and it's a good idea coming in from the Nigeria Cricket Federation, taking the sports to the IDP camp to teach them what the sports is all about. All right, let's leave the IDP camp story and go straight to the sports ministry. Yes, definitely we want to get it right, and the minister also wants to at least want to make sure everything is going so well. And this next story concerns the NFF. The minister, as we speak right now, at the Moshood Abiola National Stadium, the sports minister meets with NFF, and the meeting is all about Nigeria's performance at the two games against South Africa and Benin Republic during the 2026 FIFA World Cup qualifiers in the course of the week. Definitely for the Super Eagles, it was not a good outing for them against South Africa and Benin Republic. Losing to the Cheetahs of Benin Republic was a painful one, and now the minister at least has summoned NFF, is demanding answers after this team has been given all what it takes to do well, to excel in the qualifiers. I think it's a smart move coming, it's a good initiative coming in from the minister to have a meeting with the NFF, that is Nigerian Football Federation, Nigeria Football Federation Authority, to see what went wrong with the Super Eagles in those two games.
Well, it's a great idea, and you say, in my own perspective, well, the positive side of this kind of meeting is that it's going to be like another challenge, a good challenge, for Fidi and his boys as well. So you see, in my own opinion, like I said, it's a good idea, but nevertheless, you see, I think the NFL, I think they've seen the qualities that Finidi, that is the Nigeria head coach. I think they've seen the quality that he possesses. That is why they have to appoint him in such a situation. But yes, two matches, it's not been going well for us. And, having a meeting, like I said, it's a good challenge. It's going to be a good challenge, for Finidi, that I think, having the minister coming down to do this, to do that, it's good. But all we only want is nothing but just the positive result. That is the only thing that we want. And, like I said, this is going to challenge Finidi and his boys more, because they know that we can't afford not to even qualify for 2026 World Cup as well.
Yes, before this meeting, the minister actually came out, and this team was given all the support they needed in these two games. And going forward, Finidi himself, when he was appointed, he was given, at least the comfort was there from the NFF. What house here in Abuja, a car was given to him, at least to let him not have complained that maybe nowhere to sleep, no car to move, something of that nature. And what the country is getting in these two games, I think is not what we envisage, and that is why the minister is actually calling. But some persons faulted it, that why must not why the minister, but the reason why the minister is calling the NFF for this. I think he should have just maybe try and solve the issue, maybe behind the scene.
Well, you see, like I said, when this kind of things is happening, for the minister himself, to have called on Finidi, definitely that means something is definitely going to come. Like, it's going to be a challenge for Finidi, that your job is that come down in this kind of situation. That means you in the next matches, and we only want. So I understand the fact that this is something that can be of the minister, But like I said, the presence of the minister only speaks nothing but a bigger challenge for Finidi on how he's going to handle the Nigerian football team.
Okay, bigger challenge for Finidi, Georgia, NFF, everybody, they have a question to answer to why the Super Eagles didn't perform well in those two games against South Africa and Benin Republic. All right, let's leave that story and go straight to the Nigerian Premier Football League. It was match day 36. We have two games to the end of the season, and the top of the table and the bottom is actually looking hot, and hotter. Yes. The top teams, at least we have all of the four top teams have a chance of winning the league, and then the bottom teams, we have two already confirmed relegated after match day 36, and at least we have about four teams also who is going to join already relegated Gombe United and Heartland FC. It was match day 36 across the country yesterday evening, where we had some action in the Nigerian Premier Football League. And let's look at this story before we look at the results of the games that were played yesterday and then the table. Let's look at this particular story where Shooting Stars of Ibadan actually dented the hopes of Enugu Rangers winning the title. That is a Shooting Stars dent Enugu Rangers title ambition. It was 1-0 against Enugu Rangers yesterday away in Ibadan against 3SC of Ibadan. They are also called Shooting Stars of Ibadan. And as it stands right now, 2 games to the end of the season, and for Enugu Rangers, they need to win the remaining 2 games if they want to lift the Nigerian Premier Football League title 2023-2024 season, Jamil.
Well, in our previous discussion, I said it that home advantage is nothing but the key factor, for Enugu Rangers to be crowned the champions league. And you see, yesterday was a disappointment to them, to get at least a draw. But nevertheless, they have the opportunity, to make things right, because their next match now is at home. They are playing at their home against Bendel, and I think this they want to be crowned champion at the end of the playing at their own ground as well. But the task ahead of them is very, very simple. Just win. At worst, win your own match and draw the away match. That is the last the week 38, and expect they are competing with you. But very, very simple task. Win the next 2 matches and be crowned champion of the Nigerian Premier Football League.
Okay, definitely for Enugu Rangers, they will just be something happened in that particular game. We can't bring you that video, but there was yesterday against Shooting Stars. For Enugu Rangers, there was also another penalty appeal from them, and it was a clear penalty. If you ask me, definitely from the clips, from the pictures, from the images, that was a clear penalty, but it was not given. Do you think the Nigerian Premier Football League are trying to avoid what happened over the weekend right there at the Nnamdi Azikiwe Stadium, where they got the penalty and the penalty was not caused, but yesterday they had another penalty appeal and it was not awarded?
Well, as you've said, that is nothing but exact points. It was I watched the match. And in my own opinion, I would have definitely awarded as well. But like as you've said, it's just a precaution. Professionally, it's not okay. The referee have to be always professional about, in as much as the players have to be professional about their duties, so as such as the referee officiating crew as well. So it's a clear penalty to me, in my own opinion as well. But I think it is very, very glaring that the incident that occurred, the key factor whereby the referee is trying to be on the safer side of incidents, to happen. So, in my own opinion, it's a clear penalty, but definitely they are trying to avoid the reoccurrence of their weekend action against Enyimba.
Okay, that was a clear penalty, but if you ask me, that referee would have awarded that penalty. All right, let's quickly look at the full results of games played yesterday in match day 36 of the league, and after that we'll look at the table, and then let's look at, okay, the result is on the screen. We have Shooting Stars of Ibadan, like you know, from the onset, defeated Enugu Rangers 1-0. Aqua United, at least with this win, they are staying in the MPFL. Their survivor, they were able to at least push up their survivor in the Nigerian Premier Football League, where they trashed Katsina United 3-1 at the Eke Township Stadium. Bendel Insurance against Rivers United was 2-1 at the Samuel Ogbomdia Stadium against Rivers United. That game was interrupted at some point because of a heavy downpour before the game continued. And then Enyimba against Bayelsa at the Aba International Stadium, it was 1-1 in that game. Kwara United defeated Kano Plus 2-0. Lobby Stars lost to Niger Tornadoes 2-3. Rainbow Stars beat Heartland FC of Owerri 4-1. And then we have Shooting Stars, Sporting Lagos, I beg your pardon, lost at home to Plateau United. That is at the Unicon Stadium in Lagos 2-1. And Gombe United, already relegated Gombe United, lost at home. That is at the Pantami Stadium to Abia Warriors 3-1. If you look at the result, okay, before you react to the result, let's just have the table quickly and see how the teams are standing after this round of games. Enugu Rangers continue to remain at the top with just 2 points right now. They have 64 points. Remo Stars is second with 62 points, 2 points separating them between Enugu Rangers and Remo Stars. Enyimba is third with 60 points. Shooting Stars of Ibadan have 59 points on the fourth position. Plateau United fifth with 57 points. Lobby is sixth, 55 points. Bendel Insurance is seventh with 53 points, while Katsina United on the eighth position with 52 points. Rivers United is ninth with 50 points. We have Kano Pillars on the 10th position, 48 points. Let's go to the flip side of the table. Kwara United 11th, 48 points. Niger Tornadoes is 12th, 48 points. Abia Warriors is 13th, 48 points. Aqua United have 46 points on the 14th position. Sunshine Stars of Akure is on the 15th position, 46 points. We have Bayelsa United 16th with 44 points. Sporting Lagos is 17th with 43 points. Doma United with 43 points. Heartland FC already relegated. There's nothing they can do right now. They are on the 19th position with 35 points. Gombe United relegated also with 25 points on the 20th position. So it's going to be a battle between Aqua United, Sunshine Stars, Bayelsa United, and Sporting Lagos and Doma United. One of these teams, two of them, will drop. About two will join Heartland and Gombe United as it stands right now. I think Jamil, the Nigerian Premier Football League, for quite some time now, we are now seeing a very stiff competition at the top and at the bottom of the table.
Well, I'm glad we are reaching. This is what a football league should be all about. You know, at the bottom of the table, it is going down the line. The same thing at the top of the table as well. So that shows the level of the and you know, it's just nothing but this is good for our league. Having a league winner, you know, at the end of the season, also decided towards the end of the season is nothing but a good thing for our league. And you see, in this relegation battle, I think, well, as you said, mathematically, Aqua United might be safe because, you know, they are playing their last. And this shows and tells you that it is nothing but a most secure point for them. You look at Sunshine United, you look at Bayelsa United as well, you look at Sporting Lagos. I believe home advantage is going to be a key factor. I mean, well, you see, I see Bayelsa United, you know, they can still remain in the league, honestly speaking, if they can also keep their home record, if they can keep it in Yamba yesterday. In fact, I couldn't even point at their home ground. So I see Aqua United as far as it stands. And also, in the take, like, in my own opinion, I think Enugu Rangers in my own opinion. So it's nothing but we like this kind of competition from the teams, and we want more. We want more. This is what we found. This is what we want.
Okay, we want more assistance right now. The Nigerian Premier Football League will be heading to match day 37 in the course of the weekend. All right, let's just take some highlights of the Nigerian Premier Football League in some of the match days. Sporting Lagos is against Enugu Rangers, and also the game between Doma United and Enyimba International. Let's just look at some of these highlights in the Nigerian Premier Football League, and we'll be right back.
Chicho Kemboma, the man putting in the ball in the back of the net. Doma United, one of the private-owned teams in the MPFL, not happy, and they surrounded the referee. Oh my goodness, we've just seen punches flying, and the referee really trying to calm things down, but they're surrounding him. Enyimba play.
Yes, this is a good game. Let's not forget the side that between Enyimba and Doma United in one of the match days in the Nigerian Premier Football League. And the video you saw, the first video, was between Sporting Lagos and Enugu Rangers in match day 34 of the Nigerian Premier Football League. Wonderful game, and it was a goalless draw between the two teams. Fidelis Ilechukwu returning back to Lagos, and he got a very warm welcome in that particular game. That stadium is not new to him. When he was with MFM in Lagos, he used to play in that stadium. All right, let's leave the Nigerian Premier Football League. We know that match day 37 will be coming up this weekend, and definitely we're going to be seeing a lot of action for Enugu Rangers. Their last two games is they must win. They have one home game against Bendel Insurance, and they have an away game against already relegated team from Gombe State. So let's see how it goes. They just need to win their remaining two games, and they will be crowned champions of the Nigerian Premier Football League. No matter what happens for Remo Stars in their own remaining game, even though they win their remaining game and Rangers also win, Rangers will definitely lift the title. Let's see how it's going to go down. And then the relegation battle, all of the teams locked there will be showing their firepower in match day 37 and match day 38, the last game of the season. All right, let's go straight back to the Nigerian Football Federation, NFF, where the President FA Cup has been named for this year, the semi-final. Finally, we've gotten the host venue for the semi-final games, and one game will be coming up here in Abuja, and the other game will be at the Lafia Township Stadium in Nasarawa State. That is Lafia. The game between Kebbi United and Academy Warriors will go down at the FCT, that is a FIFA Go project in Abuja here on the 20th of June at 4 p.m. while the other game between Abia Warriors and Kano Pillars, two teams playing in the Nigerian Premier Football League, will happen at the Lafia City Township, at the Lafia Township Stadium in Lafia, that is Nasarawa State. So for the semi-final games, we have two MPFL teams locked in a battle, and then we have two teams also playing in the NNL locked in a battle. And for the other team, they are back to the Nigerian Premier Football League, that is Academy Warriors of Maduguri, who are back to the Nigerian Premier Football League after they were relegated from the elite league of Nigeria. And Coach Zubair, a coach who knows how to bring teams back to the top flight league, also did it with Academy Warriors again just yesterday right there at the Nnamdi Azikiwe Stadium in Enugu State, where the NNL Super 8 playoff is ongoing. But for the semi-finals of the President Cup, it will be the semi-final games. One will be played here in Abuja, and the other game will be played at the Lafia Township Stadium. For Kano Pillars, they last won this the FA Cup, the oldest cup in Nigeria. The last time they won it was in 2019, and they've only managed to win the FA Cup twice in their history. They've won the Nigerian Premier Football League 4 good times, that is Kano Pillars, but the FA Cup, they've only managed to win it 2 times. The first time they won it was in 1960 and then 1962, before they now won it in 2019 to make it 2 wins in the President in the FA Cup. So as we speak, for Kano Pillars, they will be looking forward to get the better of the better of Abia Warriors in the semi-final games that they will be playing at the Lafayette. All right, let's Jamiu, for the FA Cup semi-finals. We've gotten the venues. The venues has been set. Kano Pillars against Abia Warriors. Then the two NNL club, El Kanemi Warriors and Kebbi United, will be doing battle in the other semi-final. Abuja and Lafia will be hosting.
You see, in this tournament, honestly speaking, I won't be surprised if the underdog, if they end up winning this FA Cup. They can really do wonders against Pillars. So I'm really looking forward, In fact, I'm even anticipating for the final. And I believe this time around, the so-called underrated teams, they can go ahead, to win the competition. So I'm very, very looking forward to it.
Okay, you are looking forward to that semi-final games. I have joining me, Sonny joining me on the show. Welcome to 360 Sports on Trust TV.
Thank you for having me. It's always a pleasure.
All right, we have semi-final games coming up. On the 20th of June. El Kanemi Warriors against Kebbi United, Kano Pillars Abia Warriors in the Nigerian, that is the oldest competition in Nigeria. The President FA Cup has been named right now. On the 20th, one game will happen here in Abuja and the other one in Lafia.
Well, I think so far so good. It has been a wonderful experience in the FA Cup, being the fact that the Desert Force, known as El Kanemi Warriors, know how to do their due diligence to play good football, just like the Solid Miners in Nasarawa. Of course, now that they are coming back to MPFL League, we look forward to that cracking encounter where both teams will give in their best. Of course, I'm also impressed seeing the fact that the FA Cup has grown massive followership over the years, and certainly there will be more improvements even in our general football leagues. Okay,
there will be massive improvement in our football league. Definitely we want to see improvement. We want to see crowd coming back to the stadium, like what we witnessed between Enugu Rangers and Enyimba at the Nnamdi Azikiwe Stadium in March day 35 of the Nigerian Premier Football League. So we want to see crowd. The FA Cup is the oldest competition in Nigeria, and we want to go back to the glory days where we used to have the stadium packed full when it's the FA Cup game. Let's leave the FA Cup. The venue has been gotten for the semi-final, and go talk about the Paris 2024 Olympic Games, and we'll talk about the women's football now. We'll talk about Super Falcons, where one player, Super Falcons player, is talking tough ahead of the games. Underrate us at your own peril. Let's look at this statement coming in from Chiamaka Nnadozie, where she said she is not bothered. They are not bothered about their opponents in Group C of the Paris 2024 Olympic Games. That is for the women's football event. We have Japan, we have Brazil, we have Spain, the world champions in that group. Let me start with you, Jamil. For Chiamaka Nnadozie, she is African #1 women's goalkeeper, and she will be there in Paris. That is where she ply her club football trade in France. She will be there when the Super Falcons will be facing these three top countries I mentioned when it comes to women's football: Brazil, Japan, and Spain. All of these three teams are in Group C along Super Falcons of Nigeria. Now, Chiamaka Nnadozie says they are not bothered. They know what to do against these three opponents when the games kicks off in Paris, France.
Well, Nnadozie, and if we can tell by the performance at the World Cup that was held at Australia and New Zealand last year, so much of faith in them. We really don't even know that they can. So it was a nice and brief words from her.
Okay,
I think she also participated.
Go ahead.
Confidence for her. And when you look at Nigerian women's football, you just be encouraged and be excited about them, because this is the kind of confidence that we have. going into this kind of competition, knowing that you are an underdog, you are going to play against the likes of Spain, as you've said. So it's a good confidence, and I believe that with the performance at the World Cup, there is so much of opportunity, to take from her and also to take from the team.
Okay, there's so much.
Go there, and they can do us proud. So I so much have belief and confidence in this women's team as well. So I believe we can do our nation's proud.
Okay, they can do our nation's proud. Sonny, these girls will be confronting these giants in Paris. What is our chances in Group C? Japan, Brazil, Spain, world champions.
Well, I still see it as 50-50 because in the game of soccer, as you would look into it, is a 90-minute encounter, being the fact that Nadozie has done so well for herself in her club side. Of course, we know what our sensational striker is doing, Ashola in Ebe FC, and Rashidat Ajibade and co. We know this team is highly motivated, they are patriotic, they are confident, they are reliable. Over the years, we've seen them prove their worth, even at the just concluded World Cup. Now that they are going to Paris Summer Olympics, they know everybody wants to really be in the Olympic stage. It is a dream of every athlete or any sportsman or woman to become an Olympian. And over the years, I believe Nigeria has really done so well for themselves in terms of sport improvement. Even during the weekend, we have seen our domestic athletes resume camping. Wrestling has resumed camping in Bayelsa, of course, table tennis in Lagos. And here in Abuja, we have seen the likes of our own weightlifting champions who have begun camping alongside basketball and, of course, canoe and rowing. Excitedly for the individuals that have qualified for the summer 2024 Olympics, the likes of Okpe Yori Anu of badminton, that was given a resounding and historical sent-for dinner before he went to Italy for training tour. He knows how to do his job, just like Haruna Kodre in tennis, and of course, just like Elizabeth Ehena in taekwondo. I believe even our cyclists, who happens to be one of the finest in the world and in Africa, these guys know what is at stake, and they will go to Olympics to make us proud.
They will go to Olympics to make us proud. Jamil, let's look at this. If we look at that group, definitely Spain are the world champions. They are holding the Women's World Cup title with them. Side by side, Spain, Brazil. Who do you think is the toughest opponent? Because I know Japan is one of, I can't say they are also, they are the weakened team, apart from Super Falcons in that team. But Japan, Spain and Brazil, who is the toughest between these two teams?
It's very, very simple. I think Spain is, recent World Cup champion.
Okay.
This Spanish team, you can talk about this. These are world-class players. No disrespect to Brazil, but it's very, very tough than Brazil.
Okay. Spain is very, very tough.
Barcelona women's players have dominated. I mean, come on, let's be realistic. Football now speaks so well as far as Olympic stage is concerned. So you look at a lot of players from the Barcelona team which are presently in this Spanish team. I mean, Spain are they are really tough. To me, in my own opinion, I think Spain are very, very tough than Brazil.
Okay, Spain are very, very tough. I don't know if you actually agree with Jamie on this. Spain, Brazil, he is saying
no. Actually,
Spain is the toughest.
I'm of course on the contrary opinion, saying the fact that Brazil is known also to be a football nation over the years. We have seen what all these Brazilian stars have done in the past. Talking about women football now, of course, there is no more difference. It's still 90 minutes. It's still same leather ball you'll be kicking around, and everybody wants to bring in their tactics into the game. But I believe it boils down to the tactics of each coaches and how the players come into the game. Because most occasions, when you come into the game with a winning mentality, certainly you have already won the game before the blast of the end of the whistle. But I still see this group as one of the toughest, just like what we have in basketball, where we are going to play, the Tigers are going to play against the host nation, France, alongside USA, Belgium, and what have you. Even in football that we are playing against Brazil is going to be head-to-head. Certainly 50-50 for me. If we are playing against Spain, I'm very sure it's going to be 50-50, depending on how these players approach the game. And of course, we know the fact that these girls or these women are professionals and they know how to do their homework very well. In the past, in the recent times, they have done so well, even in their club side. So I think any side stand a chance to win. Even the Japans, of course, we know that they are very quick, they are very athletic in nature, and they might not just have a full broad knowledge of what it takes to play European football or other better football like in Germany and in Spain, or even in Brazil, but I believe they are also ready for this championship. Certainly, everybody, like I said, wants to hang Olympic medal, because that is one of the medal or accolade you must have won in your sporting career that will make you renounce or make you expose or make you an inspiration to the entire globe.
Okay, let's see how that goes. Super Falcons are in there. They definitely hold their own. Chiamaka Nnadozie has said it all, that she is not bothered about their group opponents. Underrate us at your own peril, coming in from the African women's #1 goalkeeper, and she was also voted the best goalkeeper in the French Women's League. Congratulations to her, and let's see how Super Falcons will do. Well, Brazil stopped us in Beijing 2008, the last time we were at the Olympics. They defeated us. We didn't win any game in our group, but this time around, I think the Super Falcons are going in there for a pound of revenge. That was in 2004, I beg your pardon, the last Olympics that the Super Falcons participated in. All right, let's leave that story quickly and go straight to CAF, and where it's coming from Cairo, that is CAF headquarters. The 2025 Africa Cup of Nations may shift, as in CAF may shift AFCON to December. Well, we had a World Cup in Qatar December, and this time around we might also have an African Cup of Nations next year in December. And you know, when it is December, this region is one of the hottest places on the continent of Africa. They are the northern side of the continent, and you know what it means when you are in the north.
Yes, of course. It's like playing soccer in the desert, or running in the desert, being an athletics kind of person. But you see the fact that these guys know what is at stake. They know the difference between the weather changes, and of course, they are going to take preactive step to catch up with what is on ground. We have seen the massive preparations that were put in place ahead of the Qatar 2022 World Cup in Qatar, and because they did that, they knew that region is a desert region, and without in those prior to the matches arrangement for the AC and the cooling system, it wouldn't have been easy for anybody to play. I believe the Egyptians know what is at stake.
The Moroccans.
Moroccans, I mean to say. They are not African countries. They know sport is business. They are going to take preemptive step, and CAF, of course, will give them the backing.
Okay, CAF, of course, will give them the backing. Now, Jamil, let's look at this quickly. Do you think it's a good idea moving that AFCON to December in Morocco? We saw a World Cup in Qatar by December, also in now Morocco. Do you think it's really good for our football development in Africa? Okay, once we get to Oswola back, he will be joining us. But like you said, they must have, I think the Moroccans must have, they have the facilities.
Certainly they do.
But at some point when this news broke out, they were not really, they didn't really support it by moving the AFCON to December of 2025.
Well, it's possible because every project has cost implication, not just in sporting activities. They know what is at stake. They are hosting many nations. They had to be proactive. They had to take proactive measures. They had to put a whole lot of logistics and renovation into place. Not just that, being the fact that they have taken sport as their business, as their tool of communicating to the world. You can see what's happening in Saudi Arabia. Everybody wants to pump in money in Saudi Arabia when it comes to sport or invest into sport there. And just like in our Africa country, Rwanda, everybody wants to go there and have sporting investment. So it's possible. They know the cost implication and they are trying to contain the expenses.
Okay. All right, let's leave that story and quickly. Okay, we have Jamie back. I don't know, Jamie, if you have one or two to say about the AFCON coming up in Morocco by December. They may shift the day. It's still under probability that we are going to have that Africa Cup of Nations in December of 2025.
Well, if it's being shifted, it's not really a bad idea. It's going to countries and the players, to prepare themselves more ahead. So I pray that they are able to reach a resolution, and so that everyone will just know their fate as well. So it's not a bad idea if it's being shifted to December.
Okay, if it's being shifted to December, is not a bad idea. All right, let's leave that story and go straight to the English Premier League, and we'll look at our Super Eagles play striker, where one team has entered into the race of signing him. That is Taiwo Awoniyi. West Ham United joined race for Taiwo Awoniyi, fantastic striker for Super Eagles. Now, Jamil, quickly for Taiwo Awoniyi, West Ham under their new coach Lopetegui, he is really good, pushing hard to see that they get Taiwo Awoniyi on their books.
Well, Taiwo Awoniyi is going to be a good addition to West Ham squad. You see, one thing about coach having an interest in a player is that every coach knows their philosophy and they knows the type of players that can adapt to their style of play. So Taiwo Awoniyi going to West Ham, personally to me, think twice. Just grab that offer. No disrespect to Nottingham Forest, West Premier League is concerned. So West Ham is definitely above Nottingham Forest. Let's forget the fact that Nottingham Forest, they are one time at the Champions League. That was in the olden days. But nevertheless, West Ham is going to be a good match for Taiwo Awoniyi. We've seen what he has done as far as Nottingham Forest is concerned. He's a fearless striker. He's a striker that tells you that if they are playing against the top 6, to be precise, he's definitely going to get you not. Yes, for me, and it's going to be.
Okay, it's the best move for you, definitely for Taiwo Awoniyi. I believe he can hear you. Join West Ham United. That is what Jamie is telling you, Awoniyi, if only you will listen. West Ham is a big team. They won the Europa Conference League last 2 seasons ago, so you can join them and also enjoy some success. With them, let's leave that story and go straight to the MLS. That is the Major Soccer League, where, as it stands right now, Messi, in an interview, says his last club will be Inter Miami. That is, Messi plans to retire at Inter Miami. Messi, everything you want to say about football concerning this guy, the trophies, the medals, the individual honors, the records are there. World Cup winner, Champions League winner in Spain, league winner in France, now in the United States of America, playing in the Major Soccer League. And he says definitely Inter Miami will be his last club.
Well, what is happening there might not be too competitive compared to EPL and, of course, the La Liga or the French Ligue 1. But I believe what he has chosen as a decision is best comfortable with his plans. Retirement is something one needs to consider very sensitive, because it's something that he knows he has to do for himself and his family. And of course, looking at the fact that the likes of David Beckham eventually went to America to play football at retirement stage, for Messi going to America to play good football is also something that is welcoming, because he has won all the laurels that he needed to win as a player. And just like Cristiano Ronaldo, who have done so well in the EPL, La Liga, and the Serie A, and went to Saudi. So looking at the fact that he is considering retirement, perhaps he might just go into investment of sport or football. It would be nice for him.
Okay, it will be nice for him. Let's quickly take this last two on the show before we go. Where Bayern Munich targets Liverpool defender Joe Gomez, fantastic defender, and assistant Vincent Kompany, who is now in charge of Bayern Munich, is looking forward to see if he can snap up this guy from Anfield. All right, the last one on the show, where AC Milan in talks with Aston Villa over a move for right back Matty Cash. A lot of cash, if definitely. Aston Villa will be ready to cash on Matty Cash. That is where we'll be leaving it on the show this morning. Thanks, Jamil, for joining on the show this morning, and also to you, Sonny Kanto, for coming up on the show. It's been a wonderful one having you guys on 360 Sports, coming to your screen from Trust TV.
Thank you. Pleasure is mine. Thank you.
Thank you for having me.
All right, that is it on the program. I am Emmanuel Fashimi. Say thanks for watching.